Episode 12. The End of Time. Chapter 64. 14th July 2011. Oak Island, Canada. Maria held the amulet with the copper symbol on it in her hands and ran her fingers over it. She no longer prayed, for she knew that if she did, he would return. Just touching the amulet was enough to calm her fears, as if the amulet sucked in the evil and expelled it. The blue mineral was smooth and warm to the touch, but when she ran her fingers over the medallion, she could feel scratches and grooves acquired over the millennia from all the hands that it had passed through. Just handling it took her back in time, calling up visions of faces in distant places that suddenly became vivid, then faded away like things seen in a dream before waking. Sometimes the faces whispered things to her, whispered things she didn't understand. Sometimes she heard screams of agony, followed by soft muttered incantations. Since her last vision several weeks ago, the amulet had no longer spoken to her directly. Now it seemed that the amulet itself was awakening from a long sleep, getting ready to perform its final task. And she was awakening with it. For all the long flight to Canada, she had dreamed about Peter's death while feeling closer to him than ever before. When she held the amulet in her lap, she could feel Peter inside her, as close as he could be and yet impossibly far away, waiting for her at the end of time. "I'm coming to you," she whispered gently. "Sorry, Master, did you say something?" It was the voice of the pilot in the headset she was wearing. She shook her head. "No, keep your mind on what you're doing." The little helicopter taking her from Halifax to the island was being buffeted by turbulence coming in from the ocean. Time and time again, the helicopter was tossed about by gusts of wind. When Maria turned to look at the pilot, she could see how hard he had to concentrate to keep them on course. She herself had no worries or fears, not even when they could see the little peanut-shaped island and the narrow causeway that linked it to the mainland. The island itself was split in two halves by a depression in the middle. Instead of the original oak forest, Oak Island was now covered in pine trees. There were a few scattered houses, vehicle tracks on the beach, and most obviously an area on the eastern side which had been cleared. The area where the hole was located. She could see no sign of people. Maria was once again wearing a nun's habit, but this one was white, with a double circle embroidered in gold on the front. Kelly had given her the habit in Kathmandu before taking her to the plane. All this had happened without either of them saying a single word. The few members of the order they came across all treated her with the utmost respect, bowing and only speaking to her when spoken to. Maria knew why. He was still...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?